on this recent trip when I was trying burden, like with a long, like quite early into the trip, I think or not super early, but like relatively early into the trip, I dropped the last move, and was actually a really good go, because it was like I got there with a no tape, and it was like quite a close go. Like I kind of like was at near the apex of the swing, and hit the hold kind of well, and I got a split on that attempt, and then like was kind of managing splits. I'd kind of like had, especially on my like back two on my left hand, kind of recurring skin problems where like splits would reopen, and kind of like I basically think I just kind of kept trying with like I basically realized at some point that I could still do all the moves with tape, which was a bad realization, because then I was just like, sweet, now I can just keep trying it. I think had I not clocked that, I'd have probably like taken some time, gone elsewhere in Finland, which is what I ended up doing at the end of the trip anyway, when it got too warm, and then circled back round. But instead I was just like, sweet, I can do the first move with tape. I can do the rest of it like with tape. And I think I never did it with like both fingers taped, but I subsequently dropped the last move 11 times in total, and I think I had like 3 tries without tape, and the rest were all with tape. But it makes the last move so much harder. And I kind of actually think in hindsight, had I just like taken a week off and climbed on other things, I'd have had like much better chances. And I think it's an example where like kind of, it's kind of like, it's slightly different, but it's another one where like almost being too attached to like the immediate outcome is that you're to my own detriment. And actually like, I don't really regret it, because like weirdly, I was still really enjoying those sessions, even when I was climbing with tape. It felt pretty fun to be playing like the chances game. I'm not really that upset to like have walked away. Like I was pretty proud to see my personal progression in that style as well. And so like, I'm not too sad about it. Like, I had a really good time trying it. But like, it's definitely like tactical errors that I've made in the past as well, and can really see their limitations.
All right, y'all, just a quick 30-second shout out here for today's sponsor, which is the Crimped app. And I'm telling you, I love Crimped. Long before there was a YouTube channel, I was using Crimped to program my training because it takes the guesswork out of things. We're too busy to worry about this stuff. Open up Crimped. You can either load in a program like a sport plan or a boulder plan, or you can choose from the hundreds of exercises and protocols that they have in there to figure out your week. And at the end of each day and at the end of each week, you get to check them off. You know what's happening. You know what's coming. It will level up your training. I love it so much. Check it out. Hit that link. You can download it for free. All right, let's get back to the interview.
Then burden is in many ways the antithesis of how I climbed Alphane, in that the holds are pretty good. They're like the crimp, they're not bad crimps. Like they're pretty, like in terms of like their profile, they're quite big. But
I've never heard anybody say the holds are pretty good on burden.
Yeah, I think for people who've tried it, like I think like if you feel the crimps, they like feel like and I mean, like, I know the developer who found the boulder, and when he initially found it, I think he boulders like about 8A, and when he initially found it, he was like, oh, nice. And, like, he tried it, like, because like he was like feeling the holds, and like I kind of know what he means. Like they're quite positive crimps, and it's only really when you try it and like see how like they're quite angular, they're very slick, and they just like the way they work in conjunction with the feet. Essentially, like it feels all about like instability and like kind of you have to move very deliberately through these moves to like kind of maintain opposition on the holds. But like I've never really like viewed it as like a finger intensive problem so much. Like it is definitely finger intensive, but like it feels like that's rare that there was a climb on it where like the fingers is a point of failure. Like I feel like often there's like a lot of nuance in the way you move, but like it's very like power, contact strengthy, and putting a lot of force through more positive edges. And I think I've always like relied quite a lot on like maintaining stability and control throughout movement. And burden is definitely somewhere where you can't do that. And so it's been really interesting trying it to like, and it's something I worked on a lot with Hazel, is like letting go of that like kind of control over movement and kind of like really like kind of putting a bit of like faith in my body's intuition to move a bit quicker. And it's very counterintuitive for me, so like it's been quite nice to like see progression there, but it definitely feels quite unnatural, and definitely feels like I have to almost like play a different psychology game. And so anyway, I'm digging into this. The styles of Alphane and Burden feel very different. Alphane is maybe a climb with which people can conform to their style more specifically, like the way I climbed it and the way Sean climbed it are like super different. And like I think Burden is a bit harder to kind of conform to one's own style, probably due to the nature of the rock and just how short it is.